Get ready, Humidor shop talk. Get ready, Humidor shop talk. Sports, Humidor shop talk. Cigars, Humidor shop talk. Get ready, Humidor shop talk. Get ready, Humidor shop talk.
Yo, welcome to this beautiful Saturday morning. Man, you here with the SmokeFellas as we bring you Humidor, Sports, and Cigars by way of Sports Zone, Chicago, man. Man, we've been doing this for 7 years, man. We sit backstage talking about all the different things that we've done. Uh, and we got more to come, especially tonight, but we're gonna get to that. But I want to bring my fellas in because we got so much to talk about. NCAA, NFL, it's on and popping. Sports, how we do it in the cigar lounges, raw, uncut, unfiltered, and giving you our point of view the way we do it. All right, Lefty, come on in. Let's get this party started, man.
Good morning, people. What's going on? What's going on? Actually trying to get all shared to all the groups. All right, we in it now. Yeah, top of the morning, man. Beautiful Saturday. A lot to talk about. Yeah, I know what it is. My bed's been a shit show all week, but I get up anyway just to show y'all I'm bed down. I'm bed down till they tear down, baby. So it don't matter. I'm with it. It's usually 5
Amen.
o'clock somewhere, but today it's coffee. Four just does a body good because it's gonna be a long night tonight, and I want to make sure I'm good and fresh, man. I'm not all sluggish and all that, man. So, man, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it.
Amen. I want everybody that's out there to write that down in your books. Lucky Lefty was in the studio on time, early, not like it was 5 o'clock somewhere. So I'm proud of my man today. But he knew he had to come with it because we missing KDL today and we missing Angry Man. They in Kansas City repping the Smoke Fellas at the KC Bears game this weekend. So man, big ups to our fellas for going down there, finna show them how we do it. But guess what? We got the tribal chief in with us. If you don't know who the tribal chief is, that's our resident DJ DY Nemesis that be bringing you the hits left and right for the smoke fellas. So come on in, DY. Ignore the
Yo,
belt that's hanging on his chest
yo,
too.
yo, yo. DY Nemesis is now he's in rest mode preparing for this evening. So I had to step in his place. As Ben alluded to, this is your tribal chief. So you can tell got 20 pounds of gold right here above my shoulder that I'm gonna hold on to, until I get ready to give it up. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. Yeah, the tribal chief's got opinion on sports too. So let's get it.
Fellas, before we kick it off, this has been the year of 50 for hip hop, for me, Lefty. So I wanted to start it off with a question for you guys. Sean, I got a photo in there because I want you guys, one of these four groups got to go, and I made it difficult for y'all. Real difficult because y'all hip hop heads, Tribal Chief, I know you are because you are resident DJ. So I made this one real difficult. Out of the four, one got to go. Sean, you can jump in here too. Out of the four, one got to go. NWA, Tribe Called Quest, Outkast, and the Wu Tang.
Oh man, this ain't fair.
Lefty,
This ain't
Lefty,
fair,
I'm
man.
picking you first.
Come on, man.
You
These
know I
some of
don't make it fair for
all
y'all.
my favorite
I'll make it
groups,
fair for y'all,
man.
baby. And anybody that's out there, please chime in on
All
who
my
you would
favorite,
take out this group.
it's all my favorite groups, man. I don't know. Damn.
One gotta go, baby.
Uh, I hate to say it. I'm just gonna I'll give my reason. I'm gonna go with NWA because they only did one album with Cube, even though 100 Miles and Running was a dope album.
Wow. Whoa.
Even though 100 Miles and Running was a dope album, but I think if Cube would have stayed with them, they probably would have been the greatest of all time.
Wow.
Because
That's
they
strong.
only did Straight Outta Compton with Cube, so I gotta take them out. Everybody else's catalog is just too strong, man.
I get I get how you
You get the
finesse that
logic
one.
behind it. You
I
get the
got the
logic behind
logic,
it.
man. I
Yeah,
got the logic, man. But damn, DY, resident DJ, wake up for a minute. Answer this question.
So my initial thought was Outkast. And then, Lucky alluded to the size of the catalog. And even though Outkast does not have an album that's better than the first NWA album, I would probably have to say Outkast should go.
Oof.
All right.
That was my initial thought, but I was like,
Hey, Sean, you not off the hook on this one, baby. Come on in. Come on in. You are not off the hook on this one. I need you to answer this question.
No, I can't do that, bro.
Come on, man. We laying it all out there. 50
do
years of hip hop. We all at that age that we experienced it like no other, man. So answer the question, man. It's for shits and giggles, man.
it ain't fair, man.
I made this one hard, baby. I made this one hard.
It's impossible. You mean you take out any one of these, and there's an argument why you should be, you should get your ass whooped. You take out any one of these, any one of them. I like Lucky's explanation.
Lucky's logic.
Lucky's logic.
It's the only reason, man.
You know what? Here's what I'll say. Only reason I would go with Outkast because I got on Outkast later. Excuse me, a lot later than everybody else. I wasn't all in on Outkast right away. All right, and Outkast. I mean, NWA was in high school, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was, it's like that was like my formative time. You know what I mean? I went to college, and my cast from New York, a cast from Miami, we had a couple casts from LA. Like that was all we were talking. You know what I mean? Like NWA and Wu-Tang.
I still bought that first album. That Straight Outta Compton album.
And then I still, I went to school with a whole bunch of dudes from New York. You know what I mean? So and I just got on the Outkast late. So because they're the last guys I really got on. Right. Under protest, I will select.
Well, you know what?
Outkast.
Will Wheat, what's up to you out there? He going with Outkast as well. He said they a duo, not a group. I can see your logic on there.
You can say that about Wu-Tang though, because they were just a bunch of
solo artists. They are army.
I mean, they were a bunch of solo artists though. You know what I'm saying?
But check it out, man. I'm not gonna give myself a pass, and listen. NWA from the West Coast, they just shocked the world with, man, fuck the police and Straight Outta Compton. I mean, it was just bananas how they shocked the world. The Wu came and just turned hip hop on its head, man, for me. But I was a Tribe Called Quest dude, man. I left my wallet in El Segundo. I gotta get it. Get it. You know what I'm saying? So the logical choice for me is Outkast because they came much later in life for me. So that's who I would get rid of. Hey, there is no wrong answer on this one. Like you said, you can get your ass kicked for throwing out any of these groups because they all hot.
Yeah, I mean, I had to use the criteria catalog, man, because I really couldn't decide, So NWA catalog's kind of short, though. That's the only reason, man. Trust me, no disrespect to NWA. I'm a Q whole fan. I'm a fan of all them cats, man. But I
Somebody
just had
just
to meet that
egged your
criteria.
car. Look out the window.
I just had to
Your
cry. I
car
just
been
meet that
egged.
criteria. I just went out the catalog, man. That's all I can go off
They
of.
egging your car right now, Lefty.
I know I'm hurt. It hurt me to say it.
They spray painted catalog on your car. Unfortunately, they
Well,
spelled it with a K. Oh shit!
Right. Oh man.
Ghetto Boys, yeah, they was hot too. I mean, man, the three of them guys, Ghetto Boys, they all were different, but when they came together, they just had a flow that was ridiculous. Man, we could talk hip hop for the whole show, but we got to get into these sports like we normally do, how we do it in the cigar shop. But man, it's 11:19, and let's go ahead and talk about prime time. Prime time has turned the college football era on its head, and what he has done in the last these three weeks has been what half man amazing. I mean, what did it say? His shirt say he ain't hard to find. So
Facts.
let's talk about it now. Travis Hunter is out 3 to 4 weeks from that dirty ass play. I mean, I swear to God, everybody hit the social media talking about that. And dude, correct me if I'm wrong. It's Ohio State. Was that who was they playing? And they threw the guy out in the championship game for targeting. I can't remember who that was, but if this wasn't a case of targeting, hitting Travis Hunter, I don't know what was. DY, I know you watched the game last week, and I mean we all done watched Prime for the last 3 weeks. They 3-0. What's your thoughts on the whole Prime time experience so far?
Well, first things first, I think you got to give credit to where credit is due, and that's with the players. That's with these kids that's going out there and putting it all on the line. I think one thing that Dion has done is convince those kids that they can win any game. He's I don't fashion him as an X's and O's kind of coach, but he's convinced them, he's motivated them, he's made them believe and including the fan base believe that they can beat anybody on any given day. So I think you got to give the credit to those kids. I give some credits to his son, that quarterback. I mean, he Shador is he's shown me some real prime time type moments, meaning him rising to the occasion. When that game had a minute left to go, I was watching the game at work, and I walked away from my desk. I said, "This game is over with." I said, "Ain't nothing, they done did what they could do to come back. It's valiant effort, wait for next week." And by the time I came back to my desk, the crowd was in a roar. The score was getting ready to be tied up,
98
and,
yards, baby.
and then they went through the overtime period. So I was very impressed with what those kids put together, and I think the whole country is waiting to see what they could do next.
Lefty, come on in. Let me hear what you got to say.
Uh, Impressive. I mean, that's when I think about what Dion did. I didn't see it coming. Not this quick. You know, but he's turned college football upside down. And to be totally honest, it was much needed. For me personally, I lost all faith in college football. I haven't really been a fan in the last few years, but he got me watching closely. You know what I mean? He definitely got me watching closely. Even the recruiting. I think he about to grab one of the top recruits who already is ready to commit to Colorado. So definitely much needed for college football. Needed some new blood, as they say, a little shot in the ass, just to get the get people back into it real heavy, man. I mean, I'm hearing people talk college football like that has never taught college football. Whether it's I mean, females, males, like, you know, a lot of us NFL people, but man, I mean, it's the talk of, you know, it's the talk of the town, the talk of the shop, the talk of the gym. It's the talk of, you know, everybody want to see what's next. And this is his biggest test. It's definitely his biggest test with Oregon. And oh, Lord behold, I took them to cover the spread. I took Colorado to cover the spread. I thought 21 was too much. I thought that was kind of disrespectful, that 21-point spread. So I took them to cover. I would be happy if they hang with them, but an upset would be even greater, man. I'm pulling for them. You know, it was a few things I didn't like about how Deion, you know, left Jackson State, but then the explanations started coming out, and you know, I wasn't a fan of how he told the other kids to, you know, pack their bags or whatever. But what he's doing, man, if you're not impressed by it, then you're just a hater.
Well, you didn't go in like KDL did. He
Right?
went
No,
off,
not to that extent.
but everybody feels, you know, that kind of rubs some people the wrong way. However, you know, they don't mention, like I say, it's what 11 kids that stayed,
Mhm.
and they are part of that nucleus that is out there balling. So those kids didn't have to leave; they could have stayed and competed, like the 11 that did. And I mean, man, but I'm gonna say this, Lefty. Talking about a shot in the arm, it's like a IV after a drunken night.
Oh yeah,
Colorado has turned into the LA Forum back in the day.
man. You see how many
It's
entertainers and
studded.
they had Kawhi Leonard weird ass out there.
Right.
Come on, man. Social media killed him. Was
They
like, man, he don't even come to his own games, but he at a prime time Colorado game.
damn near brought The Rock back to wrestling. They had The Rock
Right,
last week. Like,
right. I
man,
mean, come
it's a
on.
whole show, man. And let's be totally
College
honest,
game day.
Colorado hasn't been relevant since Cordell Stewart and Rashawn Salam. You know what I'm saying? I know them names I never thought y'all hear on this show. they, I mean, that's the last time they were even close to being relevant, man. Like you say, it's a whole.
Don't mention Rashad Salam on this network.
Oh, sorry. Sean gonna find me. He was horrible, wasn't he?
Don't forget Westbrook either. He caught the touchdown in the Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Westbrook.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we had Cordell too. He wasn't that great either. So our Colorado Chicago connection ain't really working out for it.
Right.
No, well, he stopped me from getting a try with the Bears, so bump him.
Oh,
Whoa.
personal, huh?
It's personal, just like Prime said. Coach Prime said, it's personal.
It's personal.
See, you need your sunglasses on right now, Sean. You need your sunglasses on right now.
Damn, I left them in the car. Damn it. You know what? I couldn't get them. They're all sold out. Hey, you talk about that, dude. $2.5 million of sunglasses sold out.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy that a mention of his sunglasses kind of like in a, let's just be honest, in a negative light, flipped into what a
Deion.
financial
Deion.
windfall for him. I mean,
That's
come
Deion.
on, man, that's crazy.
That's
Now-
Deion, bro.
Now I can't. Now let me say this: if I have a little bone to pick with him, I'm hoping he was just joking. But there's this clip of him and his two sons, and they talking about going to the league, and he like, y'all ain't going nowhere. If he stops them from going to the league, just for the sake of keeping his program rolling, that's a selfish thing. I'm hoping that's not the case. Because the way Shadua playing, Shadua gonna be a first rounder. He's gonna be a first rounder.
I did see comments, whether they are true or not, that
I'm telling you,
Shadua will not come out because he don't want to be number 2 to Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, my son, he's not a number 2, he a number 1. And I mean, that's that primetime talk to sell your kids, pub them out there.
That's
you
real
know what I'm saying?
selfish because this football, you want.
No, you know what it is. He knows. I don't think he realized his son might not be ready.
That's what he don't want to say that. So he's gonna put. He gonna give you the smoke and mirrors.
I would totally understand that. I would totally understand that.
Yeah,
he gives you the smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, but that's Prime. You know what I mean? That's Prime, and that's what he does. That's what he does best. That's what he does. So, you know,
But if this kid rises to a projected first round, you know football, Sean. I mean,
We can
you go out
change.
you go out there next year and tear your knee up or something, man, or even just have a bad year. Who was that a couple years ago? The quarterback, he was projected a top first round pick. He went back and ended up going in the third round. Damn it. His last year, I'll think of it when I find it. But he was projected to, if he'd have came out the year he was projected to, he was a first rounder. He came back, and I think his senior year he struggled.
Well, Lefty, we could say that about a lot of cats in sports, period, where they opted to go back to school or stay, and it didn't work out for them the next following year. I mean, man, that's a roll of the dice. That's that I'm betting on myself, or I'm the king in the college world, so I'm gonna be the king for one more year, and it don't pan out for you, and
Right,
now
but
your stock drop.
and don't let these NIL deals keep you from your dreams. I mean, like I see Shador in Wendy's commercial already. I see cats
5 million,
getting
bro.
money.
He making
I
5 million now.
I see cats getting money, but we know the goal is the NFL, is to
Right.
get to the league. You know, don't let it. You gonna make that money and then some at that level. So you know, I would hate to see a kid just with an NIL deal stay a year too long and they start and they stock drop. That's all. You know,
And I don't
Right.
think you're gonna see that from him anyway. The kid come from money, you know.
Bingo.
You know, that's not the motivating factor for the Sanders children. The motivating factor, I think, it is going to the league. It is proving themselves. You know, they are top pedigree, and it's somewhat of a rarity. In football, you don't always have. Or maybe, I'll say this: I think maybe in football more frequently than in any other sport do you have pedigree generations of players that kind of pass the torch down.
Yeah.
Whether they're great or not, they still can go to the league and be something. So, but I think like I said earlier, he's shown me a little bit more than just arm strength and that talent. He's shown me some prowess. He's shown me his ability to kind of look
lead his team. He's a leader.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the only one. He was the only one that ran over there on the hit.
What up, Tree?
He ran up on Big Boy. On the hit on Travis Hunter. He ran up like
yeah. It's like, man, that's my man's.
That's one. You don't see quarterbacks do that. That's usually a big old lineman or somebody do that.
Yeah. So the kid got some heart. DY, you said, that you talked about the pedigree in the NFL. You starting to see it a lot. I think that relates to the players that we came up watching. All of them shot the club up around the same time. So now they all got kids that's in college. You know what I'm saying? They was all at them parties shooting the club up.
But you know what, DY absolutely right. I think it's more, I would say football and baseball is a close second. With pedigree, because you look at the Mannings in football, the Matthews, hell, the Longs, it's been a lot of them, man. So and crazy part is not that many like African Americans, not that many blacks. So Dion's about to start some, let's
right.
get to
You
it.
seeing the Rices, the Harrisons, you starting to see them start to, make a name for themselves. And it's for me, it's great. Again, you
Look at
say if
Marvin
Jeff
Harrison
George was the
Jr.
number one pick, anything is possible in the draft.
Right, that's true. Look at Marvin Harrison Jr. That's
right.
Legacy. You know what I'm saying? He definitely gonna be the first receiver off the board.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's real in football right now.
I don't know if his old man gonna be out of jail in time to see it, but is he out?
Come on, man.
Is Marvin out?
Come on, man.
Shout out to Marvin Harrison.
Come on, man.
Be easy out there.
As we say, raw, uncut, How we doing in the cigar shop,
Marvin,
man?
Statesville,
Shout out to the
Harrison
state,
Senior.
state pen.
All the COs out there. Let Marvin stay up a little longer and watch his son play tonight, man. He'll be all right.
Come on, man. Let him get in the entertainment room instead of on lockdown.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He out there like the longest yard trying to teach people how to play football.
I was just about to say that's why I chimed in. And you know, I used to be a quarterback in high school, right, Marv? I used to be a quarterback.
Oh man,
check my arm out. Check my arm out. Let me see what you think.
Come
Let me see what you think.
you know what, man?
All the reasons I came in, Lucky.
It was actually just on the other day. Longest yard.
At this moment, the show was left. We just went left.
We're lefty.
Right, there you go.
First left turn.
Right.
First left turn of the show.
Hey, man, somebody got to take slot plays. You know, slot usually TMZ. Slot usually TMZ. You know what I'm saying?
Man, come on, man.
Oh, man, out of jail, man. Free Mark.
The longest yard. Y'all crazy, man. Hey, all right, man. It's time to get to the shit show. I'm so glad that KDL 33 is not on the show this week because he would have gone in from start to finish. He would have been like, hey, let me go first. Let me go first. No, the shit show that has been going on in the Shy. Before I even get started, Sean, you got a clip of the press conference, right? Let's get that going so we can kind of see where the shit show kind of started in the week. And then we'll get into theft and all that other
that I didn't like. I felt like
good stuff.
I wasn't necessarily playing my game. Felt like I was kind of robotic and not playing like myself. So my goal this week is just to say F it and just go out there and play football how I know how to play football. And that's not that includes thinking less and just going out there and playing off of instincts rather than just of so much, so to say, info in my head, data in my head, and literally just going out there playing football.
What do you think was causing you to think so much, maybe think too much?
Could be coaching, I think, but at the end of the day, it makes it they're doing their job when they're giving me what to look at and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I can't be thinking about that when the game comes. I prepare myself throughout the week, and then when the game comes, it's it's time to play free at that point. So just thinking less and playing more.
Oh, boy.
Well, that's where the shit show started this week. And I'm just gonna go ahead so we can keep it all rolling and we talk about everything. 100 grand in contracted equipment was stolen from the stadium. We got the DC that I don't know which one to call them resigned.
SVU Williams.
You're right. So many stories on this, and we don't really know. First they saying that it's health reasons. Then his crib got raided. They even brought in Peanut to say he knew about it and gave the Bears a heads up that they was going to raid the crib and Soldier Field.
They was coming to Hallis Hall.
Right, they was coming to Hallis Hall.
Peanut
So
gave the heads up they were coming to Hallis Hall.
let's go ahead and talk about this shit show.
Didn't.
That's what I read.
No, he didn't. He didn't. Ian Rapp. Well, first of all, Jerry Zuma, who's really good friends with Peanut, called the report a lie. John Zagel, John Z Sports. Okay. He broke it. Said he was coming on at 7:00 that night. He had sources. Jerry Zuma retweeted his thing, said it was a lie. The Ian Rappaport said it was a lie. Said Peanut Tillman is not involved in this investigation, in this matter at all. So people are getting a lot of bad information.
Bad information.
Let me see if I still got this. It's unfortunate. People are so worried about. Darn it, I don't. people are so worried about being first, they're not worried about being right. And he's going to sit there and defend his sources, quote unquote. But your
Say
sources
that
got it wrong.
for the media that's in the back, Sean. It's too much of that out there now.
Yeah, people are so worried about being first as opposed to being right. You got rumors with Alan Williams. The one thing I will say though is this: is that everybody keeps talking about the Hallis Hall was not rated. The Bears came out to the media and told them Hallis Hall was not rated. Hallis Hall was not rated. Fine, but there's still no confirmation as to whether or not Alan Williams' house was rated.
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking about they're staying away. They are literally wrapping it up and putting it to the side, Alan Williams to the side. And the thing that was cryptic about it, and this is what really gives me a cause for concern, is that they gave him no well wishes. If he's going for health reasons and to be with my family, all they said was defensive coordinator Alan Williams tenders his resignation today. Period. That's it. Not thank you for all you did for us. We wish you well. We hope everything works out. Nothing. There's something rotten. There's something rotten in Denmark, man, and we're gonna find out what it is.
Sean, where there's smoke, there's fire.
I thought they were the fellas. Oh, sorry.
Right. Not this particular time. But you know, like everything adds up, is that it's something pretty embarrassing. And usually when they season computers and all that, or however they said it, whether they confirmed it or not, nobody has denied that. But I think raid was the wrong word to use for Hallis Hall. Like maybe they seized some of his, his iPad and all that. So that usually relates to some weird online stuff going on, and more than likely it's kids. Pat McAfee put it out there. I mean, let's say what it is, some child pornography stuff. Nobody said nothing about no Jerry Sandusky type shit, but it was more like, and like you said, that for them to not make a statement as far as, we wish them the best or anything like that.
Good luck. Nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing. And they, so.
But what they didn't say said a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Said a lot.
Silence
says
a lot.
Let me ask all y'all this. Is this a reflection? And I don't know. Is this a reflection? I'm not going to say on the new president. What's Kevin? What's the new president?
Kevin Warren.
Kevin Warren. I'm not going to say him because Warren came in kind of late. But is this a direct reflection on polls? I mean, all this trickling down and all this now, because people, I've been hearing the sports media, especially the local media, like a lot of people at one time we thought Poles was a genius. We would call him a genius all offseason, all the moves he's been making and everything. And now with all this stuff coming out, I'm just saying people starting to turn on him a little bit.
Of course. That's what
y'all think.
Sean, I know you're in the media now, but some of the media is like Turncoat Records. They'll turn on you at the drop of a hat. But I don't think that you can put the DC on polls, because if this was some type of, SVU type shiggity that was going on with him, they could have that's been going on for years and ain't nobody know.
No, but this blame game for what usually doesn't happen usually rolls downhill. This is rolling uphill because they putting it on. I've been hearing Eberflus getting called out.
Well, that's his guy.
That is true,
right? That's his guy. And Eberflus was hired by polls.
Yeah,
but and that was Eberflus's guy is Williams, because he spent his entire when he was in Indianapolis.
Right.
Williams was his dude. I don't think. Here's the one thing, and some people are just going to say clean house completely, which I understand that logic. All right, I get it. But let's be honest. We all have parts of our lives that nobody knows about. Right. We all have stuff in our lives that nobody sees and nobody ever finds out and has no clue about. And if this is one part of Williams' life, you best believe he hit it to the best of his ability. You know what I'm saying? So he's not, and that's definitely not one of the things that you're going to go and tell your coaching colleagues.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, check out the site. No, it's not. So he had a vice. He had, if that's the case, let me make that premise. If that's the case, that's a sick one, but nonetheless, he hit it very well from everybody. He had to, because of the repercussions that would happen
Consequences from it, yeah.
if found out. So, you know, I see where people might say, hey, Paul Eberflus has got to go. That's his guy. But again, you know,
But you know what?
you don't.
I think it's all in the press conference, man. When things happen, I know you're trying to deflect it and hide some things. Sometimes you got to fall on the sword and say, you know what? We knew nothing about this. We're handling the situation. You know, it's being investigated, and he is no longer part of the organization. Boom, kill it. Now we're moving on.
Well, they said that without saying that.
Right. Exactly.
It literally said that without saying
Right.
that. When everyone I got no update. Well, don't forget, this was the first shit show. Like, this happened when Eberflus came out for the press conference. So this happened before Justin Fields. All right.
Right.
So if you remember the when someone asked about Coach Williams, Eberflus just like, I have no update on that. I have no update. He said it 3 times. I have no update on that. And you can tell he was shaken, like annoyed with it, pissy about it. So that actually happened first when he handed in his resignation. Then the Justin Fields thing. Then Justin Fields went back. Justin Fields called the media back because the one thing that media does, and this really bothers me, this is one of the reasons I got into this shit, is they'll take one clip. So they say Justin Fields, when asked about bad play, they put quotation marks, ... coaching, quotes, close quotes. So what does it make it seem like? He's throwing his coaches under the bus, and he wasn't throwing his coaches under the bus. What he's saying is what they were.
It's the Allen Iverson move.
Thing, what they're saying is like what they're trying to do. They were trying to work on him being in the pocket more. So, and you remember me telling you that Justin I described him as a good soldier. You remember me telling you that? He'll do yes sir, yes sir, yes coach, yes sir, yes sir, yes, you know, and do whatever the coach asks. So when they're telling him, working on him staying in the pocket and winning from there, he's going against his natural instincts to bounce and leave. And he's like, they want me to win from here. They want me to win from here. How similar is this from 2019 and Mitch Trubisky? Same shit. Mitch, you got to win from the pocket. Mitch, you got to win from the pocket. Mitch, you got to win from the pocket. And he had, how many times did we see Mitch had 8 yards to get? There's nobody within 12, 14 yards. He's still in the pocket. Remember? Mitch is holding the ball too long. Mitch is holding the ball too long. Very similar to that. So Justin's got to get a little bit of that asshole in him, because if you think about any great player, great quarterback, they have it. They have it. And he's got to say, hey, bump this. I can't stay in the pocket. It's getting too hot. I got to bounce. And he's got to tell the coaches, move the pocket. Get me out on the edge. Give me some quarterback runs. Give me on the edge so I go high to low, cut the field in half, high to low. If nothing's open, I'm gone. But take one of the most explosive players in the NFL last year, to take him out, literally cut him off at the knees, is counterproductive. If you have to win like this again this year, cool. But you won't have to, because what's going to happen? Once he starts running, they're going to start doing what they did before. He didn't have DJ Moore last year. All right? Cole Kmet was coming into his own last year. Cole Kmet's here now. Cole Kmet is in. Darnell Mooney, he's in. Dude, he's got weapons now. So now the thing that Justin's got to do, as Coach Getsy said, he's got to trust his people. Throw it up to DJ Moore. When somebody's in conflict, there's a linebacker. Should he come up to chase me, or should he fall back? Make sure you find DJ Moore. Make sure you find a tight end behind him. Make sure you find Darnell Mooney. Make sure you find Tyler Scott when he gets in there. Use your weapons now, because once you start using the weapons, you start hitting people behind. Now defenses are really screwed when you get on the edge.
Yeah, but the question I just have about it, if he's having a hard time, I don't think they're actually telling him don't scramble or don't leave pocket. Maybe they aren't using the design run plays as much, but I don't know. It's still, to me, the whole thing all last year, he doesn't have any weapons. Doesn't have any weapons, right? You go out, you get him weapons. Then all we hear in camp, hi, this is his offense, and this is this, and this is that. The fact that when they went out there, to me, if Justin Fields, whether you're a good soldier or not, if you felt like you needed more work as far as, with whatever they changed within you, then to me, if you're the franchise guy, you the dude, you don't have no short leash, you ain't going nowhere no time soon. You go to your coaches and say, hey, I need more reps in preseason. Give me some more reps. I'm still not comfortable with certain things, but don't wait until two shitty games, two shitty regular season games, and then come out with all this. I'm thinking too much on this. I'm not. You had all off season, fam. Like to me, I'm cheering for Justin all the way.
Hey,
And
Lefty.
I, honestly, and wait a minute, hold on, honestly, and I want the Getsy thing to work because I think the worst thing that could happen is to bring a third offensive coordinator in 4 years. I think that's a recipe for disaster with
Jay
quarterbacks.
Cutler.
Yeah, which is why I hated the Eberflus hire because you needed a coach that was going to be here to really develop him, right? Somebody you know is going to be here. So I think that's the worst case scenario is for this Getsy Fields thing not to work, because it's now he's going to have to learn another system, and that's
But
going to
not
be
only him,
the
whole
whole
offense.
The whole
and that's
offense got to
another year
learn.
or two of mediocrity till they get it, So
But Stevie Wonder can see that he's, thinking too much and uncomfortable right now.
and to be totally
The
honest,
question is,
now that
how do you fix that? Does he just need to say,
it's
you
mental,
know,
it's mental,
right?
it's all
Was
it's
he
all
in his
mental.
mind? He just say, "F it. I'm just gonna go out there and play. Stop thinking. Let me just do what I've been doing
Do the Mike Vick
all my life."
one read, it ain't their run. Damn it, that's what Mike Vick did to begin his career. One read, it ain't there. I'm taking off because he gonna have to until he can get this. And I want to say one more thing before I let DY jump in on it. I think a part of the issue with Getsy is like he sees what we don't see. He's with Justin every day, and I think he's connected with him enough. I think a lot of the reason he called those screens that deep and on my last play, on those last them 3 straight screens, I don't think he trusted Justin to drop back in the end zone and go through his reads and not take a sack or not do something crazy. I think he tried to play it safe to protect Justin because there's no way you call 3 straight screens unless you really not feeling the situation with the QB. Because Justin didn't look comfortable all game. He looked totally uncomfortable the whole game.
Except for the first
Lefty,
drive.
Except for the first drive.
you
Yeah, except for the drive. He just looked uncomfortable. So
you
he on
hit
the
a
two,
major
three,
word.
he on the 2-3 yard line. You gonna drop him in the end zone, and he back there patting and running around. He was at that point. So to me, I can't confirm that, but
Everything that you
right,
said,
it's like, hey, just
the
dump
one
it
thing
off,
that
get the
stood
ball
out
out.
to me is the one word you said is trust.
Yeah,
And it's like if these other coaches and OCs trust some of these other quarterbacks around the league, why can't you put your trust in your quarterback and go out there and play? It's to me,
because
it
you're
seems
watching the
like they
feel
are
of the
trying.
game, though,
They
Ben.
try. They trying to. For me, it looked like they trying to be so smart and overthinking instead of just going out there playing and just letting it be a natural flow. It's like they trying to overthink and outgame, and they doing too much, as they say in the street. They doing too much.
Yeah. Try to be the smartest guy in the room.
Right.
I don't think it's trying to be
DY.
smartest guy in the
Come
room.
on, DY.
I think it's when you see how your quarterback is not looking comfortable, you calling plays around him. Go ahead, DY. Go ahead, get to it.
It's two parts of this question I want to ask. Get back to the first comment about the GM. Keep in mind, this is Ryan Pohl's second year in the seat. Prior to this, he had no GM experience. It's occasions like this where he's learning on the job. Coming from Kansas City, where you have very little controversy, Andy Reid dealt with some tough times when he was in Philadelphia, of course, at the end. But being in Kansas City, he really hasn't had to deal with any adverse type of stuff like this, especially on this high level. I don't feel like Poles should be held accountable for all of this. Yeah, they may be the individuals, that he chose to come in here and help lead this team. But I refuse to believe he didn't do a decent job, do his due diligence in vetting these individuals. Whatever Alan Williams was into was nobody's business. Was secret squirrel stuff, and he kept it a secret until somebody found out or somebody told him. Now with Getsy, I'll tell you one thing, and I've seen this. I think the first 2 games, at least the first 2 games this year, the scripted plays, the 20 plays that he has set at the beginning of the game, they work like gangbusters. They look good. Plays look crisp. The players on the field look good running it. I don't feel like Getsy is a good play caller beyond those 20 plays. He doesn't know how to manage and continue to call plays. Some of the plays that he calls leave you scratching your head, the multiple screens. I don't feel like he's choosing these screen plays because he don't trust Justin Fields to throw down the field. I think he's calling the screen plays because I don't think he can figure out what the hell else to call in these type of scenarios. What's the best way to protect a quarterback that don't have time? Maybe run the ball. How about that? We're averaging 5 yards a carry as a running group, and we don't seemingly continue to run the ball. Yeah, we may be playing from behind. I get that. It's whatever it is, but the run will set up play action, which will set up opportunity for Fields to have more time to be able to look down the field. Second piece of that puzzle is, how about shortening the field? If you don't feel like he can read from left or right, then how about, hey, let's bootleg and give him 2 options down the field, cut the field in half, and give him an opportunity to get some confidence in throwing the ball down the field. These are all simple things that coordinators do to help build up confidence in their quarterbacks. And I don't see Getsy being able to do that. He reminds me more of Mike Martz than of some.
No, dude, I got to disagree with you, man. This is year 3. We still babying Justin. We still got to call plays from like he's a fucking rookie. No, it's year 3.
Rookie plays.
I'm just saying all this, cut the field in half and do this and then so just get comfortable. Look,
That comes back to the word you said, trust.
But it's about, I'm seeing it. If you see it, I read a thing today. 80% of Fields' sacks in his career was with him holding the ball more than 4 seconds. Right. So now the perception is the offensive line is bad. No, the Bears were. To realize the Bears were top 3 last year in time in the pocket. Mm-hmm. Like they were top 3. So it's just falling on Justin. Let's call it what it is. The NFL is in college, you can sit back there 4 or 5 seconds and do that, right? This is the NFL. It's 2 to 3 seconds. You got to get out. You got to make a decision. The ball got to get out.
10 times faster.
If 80% of his sacks are coming off him holding the ball more than 4 seconds, and last week he was holding it 5, 6 seconds. So it's. I know we can say it's the line, it's Getsy, it's this, it's that, it's Justin, it's year 3. We can't keep babying you, dude. You either an NFL quarterback or you not. It's one or the other. I mean, you can't do it. Look at Brock Purdy, and he's nothing great, but at least he gets the damn ball out. Get it out, dude. DJ Moore in the middle of the field clapping for the ball. Throw it. It's like I get it, and we like Justin. Justin's a likable guy, right? We are black quarterback in Chicago, can make big plays with his legs, and this, that, and that. I get all that. But at some point, you got to be an NFL quarterback. If you're going to lead this franchise, you have to be an NFL quarterback, not some big play guy that we get to cheer on an 80-yard run, but you can't throw a damn 10 and out. So it has to go on. And I hear this overcoaching, this, that, and other. One of the things, and Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, because one of my buddies that's a coach, said when you have accuracy issues, the first thing they work on is your footwork. Am I right? This is what he told me. So if they were working on his footwork, Justin does have some accuracy issues at times. We've seen it. So if they're trying to help him or get him to, just little quick fixes, he got to be astute, man. Like we got to hold Justin accountable. It's time to be an NFL quarterback. It's year 3, dude. That's it.
I get the whole acumen about the accuracy. But how do you fix blatantly not hitting the open man? And like I said, Stevie wanted to see that this guy is wide open. Throw the damn ball.
And we can't keep dumbing down the offense for Justin. I know you coach to his strengths. I get it. But some things he has to be able to do. They changed. What was the New England game last year? Week 6, something like that, 7.
6 or 7.
When they changed the whole offense for Justin, right? When they start calling design runs and all that. You think they wanted to do that? They had to do that, right? So now coming to this season, they say, okay.
So they're going to wait till week 6 again?
No, so now come this season, you say, okay, let's mix it. Let's mix some of what we did last year with some, some other stuff because we have weapons and things now. Justin got to get it, dude, and I'm pulling for him. Trust me, but he has to
I'm
get
not
it.
suggesting.
Well, you sound a little mad there, Lefty.
Just
You real
saying,
mad,
man. We
I'm not.
blaming
I'm
everybody
not.
man,
else.
I'm not suggesting that they dumb
angry
down
man
the
today.
offense. I'm suggesting that they find ways to build his confidence up, throwing the ball down the field.
DY took
That's
my
the only,
thunder. Keep going, Papa. Keep going.
that's the only thing that I'm suggesting here. I want to see the big plays. I want to see him be able to read from left to right, hit those open receivers. But until he gains some momentum, until he feels the timing in the pocket is only going to come by him throwing completions.
So what do you do that? This is where it falls on Getsy. This is where it falls on Getsy. Where are the slants? Where are the slants? Where are the curls?
I was just going there, Sean.
Where are the hitches? Okay, and that'll fix his footwork because in a slant you can't just sit there and hold because it's timing. So it's got to be if you notice the his dropbacks, they're they're lackadaisical. They're lazy. He's like kind of sauntering back. Even when you get the ball, it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 throw. You know what I mean? That's
it.
the issue. And it's got to be that timing has got to be on.
Give your playmakers the ability to get them yaks.
But our defense is taking that away because everyone's playing the zone, a tight zone, up in the intermediate area.
But
so those slants and stuff are going to be hard to throw when everyone's playing up. That's how many times have we seen the last two games with those guys behind the defense.
They're playing what he's facing a lot of time is cover 2. All right, and in the cover 2, cornerbacks do not line up inside. You cannot line up inside. If you do that, it is malpractice. You will be fired. If you line up your cornerbacks inside the outside receiver on a cover 2, because you got the safety and the corner. If he's in here, there's a big open spot between that corner and that safety, and he gives you a head fake. And once if he's even, he's leaving. And that is literally a quick 12 to 15 yards every time. So cornerbacks are in a cover 2. You always say your head up or outside shade so you can see everything because you don't even look at your guy in a cover 2. You read 2 to 1. You read what's that guy doing? It's going to tell me what my guy's doing. You read 2 to 1 because you can't focus on your guy because he might take you away. So there's no way he's seen a lot of cover 2. Where are my slants? Okay, where are those at? That's Getsy. That's where he's got to get up on him. Trust me. You ask any quarterback, they want completions early. They don't give a damn if it's 2 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards, 2 yards, 1 yard on a slant. They want completions early, and they're not giving it to him. And yes, I agree with you completely. He's got to play better. No ifs, ands, or buts. Wide receiver, no ifs, ands, or buts. I can't. You got to play better. But you also have to make him comfortable, too. That's your job is to get him lathered up. Pause. All right, get him warm. Thank you. Get him ready.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to get him warmed up. You got to, and that's what he's not doing.
I think one of the unfair comps that they give to Justin Fields is this whole thing with Philly's quarterback
Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
I look more so at the kid in Miami. Granted, he got the greatest targets in the world. Tua's got the greatest targets in the world. But
glad you brought that up.
What did they do for him? As far as the offense is concerned, we saw when you watched the game with Miami and New England this past week. You saw how quickly he was able to get the ball out of his hands. And that's his offensive coordinator, his head coach who's calling the plays that made sure that I'm not going to leave you out here on the island like I did last year so you can get brutalized, beat up, and
concussed again.
He one concussion away from his career.
You know it. 1, 2, 3 hitch. And I don't care what you see, get rid of that ball. Get rid of it. He's not the most accurate passer in the world, but he knows he's got playmakers on the outside, and he knows at worst case scenario, in a lot of instances, he can hand that ball off, and they're calling plays to that effect. The same thing's not happening for Justin. Why have him? If you look at even when he runs play action, the play action doesn't fool anybody.
There's no mesh. But don't fool no one because they ain't running the ball.
Hey,
they ain't running the ball.
When you brought up Miami, I've been watching their games this year, and you are spot on. And you know what I compare Miami's offense to is Golden State when they had KD, Clay, and Steph. They were moving them all over. So the defense cannot cannot
Right.
hone in. They are constantly shifting Tariq, Waddle. They moving them all over, and then you got the running back that is pounding them. I mean, they just constantly moving. So the defense, you watch how they run. They run Tariq from sideline to sideline. And when they snap that ball, he's already kind of in a running motion. So anybody that lines up against him is backpedaling and they dead in the water. And then if they sink off of him, he stop, boom. And now yards after the carry. It's just ridiculous that offense that they got. It is crazy. And it reminds me of how Golden State, when those three was together, you couldn't stop them, no matter how you tried.
That's a great.
So why
That's a
can't
great
we get
point.
some things of that nature? We got weapons now. You
Well,
know,
well, so
Sean,
how,
you talked about the slants. You know, we need to let the playmakers be able to do what they paid to do.
so at what point, like we all play sports, right? And when when you're having them mental hiccups, when your head's just not right, a la Ben Simmons,
A
or
la Chuck Knobloch. Remember Chuck Knobloch?
yeah,
Couldn't throw the
like
ball
when
from
you
second to first.
right,
Damn.
exactly when like you can fool yourself into like, and how do you coach out of that? Like we can sit here and say make Justin comfortable and make this. At the end of the day, it's on him. He has to
He's
get out of his own head, and we can keep simplifying the offense. Yeah, we can go back to the run on first down, run on second down, then try to throw it on third or whatever. And then now we saying it's a dumbed down offense. It's not creative. It's nothing to it. You know, it's to me. I'm just saying I'm watching a guy in the second year of an offense, right, with more weapons. That's not getting it done. If he's saying like I don't
here's what you need to
I
do.
think you can't overcoach, but I think at some point you got to say, hey, it's time to grow up. Get your big boy draws on. Let's get to it.
Here's what you do. You let him do what he does best, okay? And then you build off of that. All right. You don't tell him, all right, you need to win from the pocket, and then stop him from running. All right. That's what gives him confidence. All right. You're worried about he's going to get a big hit. Get a big hit. He's gonna get hurt. Well, shit. Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the pocket. Tom Brady got his ACL tore in the pocket.
Mhm.
So you're one play away. So don't give me the injury bullshit. You're scared of him getting hurt. So what you have to do is tell him to continue to do that. But while you're doing that, we're going to cut back on it. Now we want to build on you throwing, because everyone's worried about you running. Everybody's worried about that weapon that you are. They're worried about it. So they're saying, okay, if you once you break through the line and because your instincts kick in, or you break through that pocket, you're still not at the line of scrimmage yet. You don't have to run downfield. You can break through and all of a sudden go lateral. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best at it. We know because we've seen him do that shit for like the last 16 years here. All right. He breaks through that and then goes to the line of scrimmage and literally like stops a yard before and just goes and it starts directing people. Now you got somebody in conflict. Now you got a guy who's in a tough spot, who's in zone. Do I come up or do I go back? Because if I come up, somebody's open. There's a big spot that I'm vacating.
Yeah.
But if I stay back, now this 4-4 dude got a head start, and if I take the wrong angle, or he just might be too damn fast, let him do what he does best. People wanted him to, okay, he had a great year running last year. Now he has to be a great quarterback. What if it takes him 2 years to be a great passing quarterback in the NFL? What if it takes him 2 years? What if it's development is not linear for anybody?
Yeah, but here's the issue then.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember near the end of last year, once teams kind of caught on to what Justin was doing, you remember the Atlanta game? How they played them? Defense is gonna figure you out. They're gonna figure out
And then you
most
adjust.
defenses are gonna try to figure it out, right? But not just the play calling. The quarterback but you have to be able to call plays for the adjustment and trust the quarterback's gonna get it done.
Well, we know that's where we struggle at.
Right,
Adjustments, left.
But if they're game planning to stop Fields from running, then it's going to be such you got to try to win a lot of these plays with your arm, with your decision making. Like you said, being like we see Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, and we can't put them on that tier yet. But let's just bring them down a few tiers. Like it's like Jalen Hurts. I think Justin's more athletic. Jalen's probably stronger, but more athletic. One thing you notice with Jalen, it's a decision. Like make a decision. It's options. I can't give you 3 or 4 options, and then you're picking them slow. Do I? It got to be one other. And defense is starting to play him. I watched, and he started winning a little more with his arm. Not winning games, but he started making a little more plays with his arm. In the last year, you look at how the numbers went up, right? His passing yards went up because defenses started kind of figuring him out. Started the Atlanta game, he was taking more hits because of the way he was kind of being played. So, like, you can be limited on what you can coach if the player isn't getting it. If I'm limited on what plays I can call,
I got a question for y'all, and answer it honestly. Is it time for some of these receivers to start to break routes to help Justin Fields out when he's struggling? I mean, they running their routes. Some of the great players will break their routes when they see that their quarterback is in trouble.
No, there's a difference between struggling mentally and struggling on the feet and being pressured. If you're being pressured, if it's a scramble drill, then yes. If he's getting flushed out of the pocket, all right, then yes. Then you got to come back, and there's different routes. There's ways. Short guys go long guys come back. You just run away from your defender. If it's because it's up here, no, you don't break the routes off because now you're screwing with the chemistry of the timing of the actual the concepts and the patterns that are being run. But everyone's forgetting about this offensive line. This 3/4 and actually 4/4 of it might be out on Sunday, but you got weakened positions like the 2 guards, the 2 guards in the center. All 3 are weakened positions. You had Nate Davis who was out. You had Cody Whitehair who was a starting center, but he had to move to left guard because it's Tevin Jenkins. So that's a downgrade. And then you had to put Lucas Patrick at center. And that's a downgrade from Cody Whitehair who's now a left guard. So there's a lot of different things at play here. All right. And yes, he has had time. He has, again, I'm not going to let Justin off the hook at all. You got to play better, kid. Okay. But you also got to help him as well. That was a cry for help. The other day. Like, stop giving me information. Did you guys see Sam Acho, or I don't know if it was Sam or his brother, whatever, one of the Achos, and he was talking to him, and because Shady, I really don't like Shady McCoy. He's just kind of a jagbag. But anyway, I digress.
At all.
He's not, yeah. So, but Acho's like, he goes, have you ever worn that green dot? He goes, I have. He goes, and there's so many times in there where I just wanted to tell my coach, shut up and let me play. And he so here's what'll happen. Here's how an example. He'll call the defense and he'll say, hey, listen, it's 3rd down and 47. Don't forget, they tend to do this. If this tight end leaks out, you may want to lean over.
RJ?
But if not, make sure you always watch the backside because they're gonna be so now you're giving a whole bunch of stuff, and you got to do that within 15 up until the 15-second mark of the play clock. So what is Getty talking to the dude in there saying, look for this, or is he giving the play and says, boom, now go make the play? Because if you're talking to a dude, now he's thinking instead of just saying, hey, here's the play, boom, make your reads. But if you're talking to a dude, it's very difficult.
It can be.
And one difference is, you talk about Mahomes in comparison with this offense. You look at the play calls Getsy calls, especially when Justin's back there in the pocket. He's calling more vertical plays, whereas Kansas City's plays, those scrambling plays that Mahomes shines so bright on, those are horizontal plays. Those are crossing routes. Those are dig routes and everything. Those wide receivers don't go very far. So when something does break down, he's still only throwing the ball maybe 10 yards down the field and letting them go and make plays. Whereas Justin's got to wait right there. He's waiting on a 7 route or a 9 route for these guys to get down the field, to get to a spot, and him hopefully try to be able to make that throw. Which, But
DY, they're running the Green Bay concepts, and there should be crossing routes. There should be mesh routes. Do you remember Jordy Nelson being wide open every freaking year, twice a year against us?
Those are crossing routes.
What's the deal? Why can't we run those now? You know what I mean? Like that's the issue.
why, and that's the question we got to ask here. Why are we not seeing that? I thought that, I could have sworn the plan for Mooney was to put him in the slot and let him run all across the field all day long. And if it wasn't open downfield, you knew you had him as the release and let him go make plays.
Yeah.
Why don't we have that? Why is that not in the book? Why are we constantly sending Komet and 10 down the field to try to make some plays? Claypool cannot. He's no route runner. He might be a playmaker, but he's no route runner. I'm so sick and tired of looking at him and all the film I've seen him going down for a dig route and him turning in the wrong direction. And the ball may be there. Justin will get the ball there in time, but he's turned to the wrong direction, turning left instead of turning right.
Well, could an issue also be, though, is why you don't get more crossing? Because what I've noticed with Justin is he doesn't throw good, like leading his receivers. Now he can hit. Like he'll downfield, yeah, he got a nice deep ball. And if a guy just gets in the spot, he can hit him in a decent spot. But I've noticed a lot of times on the move, Justin isn't placing the ball where it should be. So that's you got Aaron Rodgers who could throw it and hit a golf hole from 60 yards, just that accurate. Yeah, you can call that all day. But you know how it is, Sean. It's not easy throwing to somebody on the move. Like this guy's coming across and you got to lead him, make sure it's not behind him, where it bounce off his pads, anything. We've even seen on screens where Justin's inaccurate. The guy reaching behind him. Remember the one with DJ Moore in preseason against Tennessee? That ball was thrown horribly. It was behind him and low. He got the ball, made a play.
But
So
yeah, we still call screens.
But all of that will be negated, Lefty, if he hit the open man that turns around and he's sitting there. I mean, he's sitting damn near sitting in a chair on the field. Hit him right in the numbers.
But Ben, we talking about calling plays when the guys are on the move, not when he's setting up. Like when the guy's actually on the move, post, slants, like when the guy's moving horizontally and you have to lead them. You got to lead them, throw the ball to the spot, let them get there. Is some of it Justin's inaccuracy because he's been inaccurate on a lot of throws, man. Like, come on, dog.
But see, that's what comes from your footwork. All right, that's what comes with lazy footwork. So either you coach it,
or Lasky blamed on his footwork.
So if you coach it or you allow it.
Dan went in on that.
Mm-hmm.
Coach it or you allow it. And I know you're not coaching lazy footwork, so that means you're allowing it. So Getsy's got a lot of work to do. He's really fumbling the ball. It's unfortunate that he's not as detail oriented as a lot of other offensive coordinators because that would be the first thing. Your footwork. I coached quarterbacks for a few years. Man, and I talked to my guy who's one of the most renowned quarterback coaches in the country now. Midwest, definitely, but in the country. Man, and it's all footwork. It's got to start there, and he is not adamant about having Justin Fields with footwork. You talked about Tua. Footwork, great. All the good quarterbacks, great footwork. Great, and they're solid, the base, everything's timing. And I know Justin knows this, but he's got to have it drilled in his head every single time. The first thing that Luke Getsy should say when they get to Hallis Hall every day is not good morning, is better footwork. Better footwork. Better footwork.
Willie Groves, what's up out there, man?
But then we gonna say he being overcoached.
No, that's not
because he's thinking about his feet. Because that's Dan Orlovsky. He broke down the whole thing. Look how they changed his footwork and this and this, and this is why he can't do this. No, the change in the footwork is part of it to help him be more accurate. You know what I mean? That's an accuracy thing.
But so the footwork change that they talking about, you notice Justin in the shotgun, 80% of the time. The footwork is his stance when he's waiting there for the ball. The footwork is not coming from him being under center and doing a 5 to 7 step drop or even a 3-step drop. The footwork comes from what foot is planted when he receives the ball and what he has to do to make that 3-step drop. So if my right foot is in front and instinctively I pull my left foot back once I receive the ball, automatically I'm at a disadvantage because my body's turned to the left versus switching your foot and the ball is already right here ready to go. So 1, 2, 3, hitch, go.
But I thought Justin as his right foot was, they trying to put his left foot forward now, right?
Well, whatever they trying to do,
But I mean, so because if the wrong foot is forward, you actually turn a 3-step drop into a 4-step drop. Like if you got the right foot, right, when you catch your right foot forward, you catch the ball. If you step back with your left foot and that right foot still ahead, you off base.
There should be no step back with the left foot. It should pivot on that left foot,
right,
and the right foot should go
it
back.
Be a pivot.
So
that's why
the one thing.
The left foot forward. So his first step could be back with the left, and then instead of if he's the other way, it's weird.
The issue is this, and if that's one of the issues that they're talking about, then that could be made. Then you work on every single stance. All right, left foot forward. All right, you catch the ball, you pivot on the left foot. Right foot forward. You catch the ball, you pivot on that left foot. The only thing you do with that left foot, you don't step back. You pivot. Yes, it doesn't. So it doesn't matter where the hell your right foot. It can be up.
But that seems so unnatural. If you doing that and you right-handed, that should be automatic.
But it's called muscle memory. So
it's not
this is what I mentioned. Because he's not detail oriented. You realize if you do that 5 minutes a day, just 5 minutes a day, you get out there, 5 minutes, boom, 5 minutes, right foot forward. All right, you get the ball. You pivot on that left foot, right foot comes back. Left foot forward, the right foot's already back. You just pivot and just jump back with your right foot. Work various stances.
But I just don't see how that is not natural for a right-hander to do.
I don't either.
Because you got some people that are so, and this is sometimes a problem with people that are just overly athletic. They depend more on athleticism than the actual technique. So it happens a lot. I was taught when I played quarterback was that first step is the most important step in a drop.
Well,
it is.
Right? Because don't start being.
Your years of quarterback lasted how long? I'm just saying.
It was short. It was short. I went.
And it wasn't because you. It wasn't because your football.
It wasn't because I was good. Now
it was because of that hit that put you down.
No, that happened. But I'm just saying, learning how to do it. That first step, because NFL is fast. The NFL is fast.
The
NFL is very fast.
On Getsy.
And if you trying to square up, trying to take time to square up to throw the ball and all that, you losing time, and that's timing. Like it has to be. It's mechanical. It's like 1, 2, 3, boom. If you stutter and got to twist your body right and all that, you're gonna get sacked.
Again, it goes right back to the point of Getsy not being detail oriented. Because when you got here, you watched hours of film on Justin. You watched him on the practice field. Okay, before you even met him, I'm sure you watched hours of film on him. And if you said, okay, this is what he's doing, this is what I need change. You come in day one, jump street, and say, this is how we want you to drop back. All right. Personally, I need his ass under center. That's my thing. Yes. I need him under center a lot more.
That will correct a lot.
Because you don't have that space. All right. I don't get, and that helps with the play action. That helps with the timing. That helps with making decisions quicker. I mean, we're all human. How many times do we wait for shit at the last minute, but we get it done, right? Under pressure.
Right.
Now you're sitting there behind everybody to take it. No, you're under center, and now you're a little closer. You got to see, okay, who's coming? If I'm looking this way, I might not see this guy coming, but if I'm in shotgun, I can see this guy coming. So I have to make sure that my awareness is heightened when I'm at the line of scrimmage, okay? And that means when I get back, my drop back is going to be much quicker, much faster, much sharper.
So but how do we know? We've all had teammates who, like, what you practice didn't translate over to the field, right? You practice it all week, then the asshole get in the game and do exact opposite. No, you watch your mouth. Ben Ingram, black hole. I mean, you practice it all week, and then you get in the game, and it's like a brain fart. Like, hey man, because we really don't know what Getsy is working on him with. We don't have the truth. No one's detailing. He may be working on that. Another thing I noticed with Justin, when he gets back, that he's hopping. He's kind of hopping to the stop. It's not designed like that. It's step. Justin takes that little hop. It's a lot of things I'm starting to pay more attention to with him. But we don't know if he may have been working with him all off season. We don't know.
Now,
We assuming he's just ignoring it.
now, okay, we got several 0-2 teams, right? Bears is one of them. Are the Bears the worst 0-2 team that's out here?
No, it's
You got
Arizona.
the Chargers,
Arizona.
Patriots, Bengals, Texans, Broncos, Vikings, Cards, Panthers. I mean, are they the worst 0-2 team?
No, not by any measure. You know, the Cardinals are not that good. Carolina's not that good.
Right.
Texans are not good at all. We unfortunately the meat and potatoes of our schedules at the beginning of the year. So we're gonna struggle through these first 6 games. You got an up and coming Washington team that looks a lot better than anybody I think could expect it. And I think, with the new offensive coordinator and Chico there, you really are kind of on to something. Something could be brewing major in Washington. But us being the worst, no. We may look like the worst team in football because of the dysfunction. And after
And
everything
that's
that
our
happened
home team. And that's our
this
home
week,
team. So we see,
Well, that's more than that because the national media. You heard Stephen A. Smith?
yeah, well,
He dog walked the Bears, and
yeah,
what's the name too
yeah.
on Get Up? They all dog out of the organization's atrocity. But I think a lot of it is like this is probably the most panicked on to situation, basically because we're dating it back to last year. 12 damn losses straight, man.
yeah.
So we're dating it back to last year, which I think is a little unfair because we knew what last year was. It was a total teardown rebuild, right? So, but no one's willing to give it a fresh start. We're saying, okay, you lost 12, and I think the other side of it is how it looked. Is like if the Bears would have lost, even if they would have lost these last 2 games, if they'd have lost by 3 points, maybe by 4, maybe it was a shootout, maybe it was one bad play here. That okay, if this would have happened, okay, you can kind of it's easy to sleep on that. But we watched these last 2 games a complete shit show of an offense. It looked horrible, and
Okay,
that's what's bothering everybody. Like you
okay,
can lose and look, you can look decent losing, but when you go out and look like that, I mean,
okay.
come on, man.
So I think it's a consensus. We're not the worst 0-2 team. Now, there's several quarterbacks out there struggling. Is Justin the worst of the bunch? Because you might as well say that Massage Watson is struggling. Uh, Burrow is definitely struggling. Kirk Cousins is struggling. The new kid on the block, Bryce Young, is struggling. We can go
You
to the Jets
expect
and see Zach
you
Williams.
you
Zach,
expect rookies
Zach
though.
Wilson is struggling. So is Justin the worst struggling quarterback out of that bunch?
You left a name out, Russell Wilson. To me,
Mm.
it's he'll be
Well,
the
I didn't even want to put
no.
Mr. Sierra in there
Yeah, it's him.
because we go
It's
for
it's it's
days on Mr. Sierra.
it's him. And
Hey,
Sean
leave me
Payton
out of this. Leave me out.
and Sean Payton called him out in the offseason. You know, he called him out in camp. It's Russell. You the vet. You the big money Super Bowl winning quarterback. You the guy. We bring in an offensive guru and Sean Payton. He's still struggling. To me, it's him. It's Russell Wilson.
All right, so now we ain't jumped in on the Bears, man. Let's
Lamar
talk
Jackson
about something.
struggling too with that new offense.
Yeah,
Lamar
he is.
struggling a little bit. He looked a little better last week, but he ain't looking MVP-ish yet.
No, because they said he said he was going for 6,000, but he ain't even gonna get 3,000 the way he
Yeah,
falling short.
struggle.
Yeah. Now, Lefty, you have religiously said don't pay the running back. Now, week 2, 8 of those running backs that came out and wanted more money and all of that, where they at now?
Injury
They
reserve.
sit and they hurt.
Uh-huh.
They hurt. It's the only one that's not hurt is, knock on wood for a man, is Jacobs. But mostly everybody that was Montgomery, Saquon, man, it's a host of them.
Nick Chubb.
Chubb, all of them came and they wanted more money.
Yeah,
Now
Dobbins from Baltimore too, right?
Dobbins is Dobbins. I really feel sorry for that man because he hasn't really had a chance to get his career, kind of like off the ground.
And it's about a wrap for him, man. 2 years worth of ACL injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
he tore a couple of ligaments on that hit. Lord.
Nick Chubb, Saquon, Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones, Montgomery, Dobbins, Jamal Williams, Evan Hall, Salvon Ahmed. Those are all injured come week 2.
Yeah.
I wish Kev was on here because Kev is that locker room guy. Pay them. They earned it. This, that, blah, 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 blah.
Well, let me first, if I may, let me get a chance to clear up my statement about not paying running backs. It's not that they don't deserve to be paid. My thing is with the league turning into a passing league and you're in a hard cap league, like football, you can't put all your financial resources into a position and then leave everything else weakened, right? You see the issue with the Giants, offensive line problems, stuff like that. You want to pay Saquon, you got to pay the quarterback, you got to pay this guy, this, that, and other. So it's just that guys do deserve to be paid, but it's also a fight financially. You just have to be smart. The one thing with Aaron Jones, the one thing he has is what's the name? He's really a tandem back with Dylan.
Mm.
So he's not, so you have to, it's smart to kind of see it in that way. The Jets with Cook and Priest, is that his name? Priest? Hall, is that the running back?
Priest Hall.
Priest Hall, him and how they look together. They should have ran the ball more against Dallas. That was pathetic. But I'm just saying it's still, so you can't give 13, 14, 15 million to a running back. Still have to have a second running back. And then quarterback's going to be getting 60 million a year in a minute. Then receivers going to be they want to get paid. Then your other top position, left tackle, do we lose a good left tackle because we're paying our running back? I don't know. You just got to look at it like that.
Yeah, I think it's a sad state of affairs when these running backs get hurt, but you also talking about running backs, some of whom who didn't go to training camp, who started the year late, whose body's not conditioned. That's always a story for somebody who wants to hold out. It's like, okay, I finally get up in here, and boom, as soon as I get up in here, we playing at full speed. Ain't no OTAs, ain't no summer ball, ain't no training camp. I'm coming in here playing at full speed, and I get my leg popped off because I didn't protect myself. I didn't fall correctly. So,
or somebody just roll up on you. You just,
Well,
how many times we seen that?
It's been a lot of low cut hits in the first 2 weeks on these running backs and receivers and tight ends. They chopping them low, man. I've seen it. I know you guys have seen it. They hitting them low, man, and them just injuries waiting to happen for.
Well, what's the
skilled players?
That's called a reaction to an action, right? If you try to hit guys up high, you get muffed in your face down the damn field. So when you get to the second level, I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna let it do beast mode and just push you in the face all down the field, or you're gonna hit them low to try to get them down to the ground? You're gonna hit them low.
That's also from the helmet to helmet contact too. You don't want to go, and that's 15 yards. You can't put your face mask under somebody's chin anymore. You know what I mean? Like back in the day. So if you get a helmet to helmet, and truth be told, if you're a DB, do you want to go helmet to helmet with a 6'5", 6'7" tight end? You know what I mean? Do you want to go helmet to helmet with a 215, 220 pound running back who's got a head of steam? No, you don't.
Yeah,
you ever try to catch a train?
Like you had guys as big as Gronk. What is it? And we see Gronk's career wasn't too long because that's probably one of the reasons too. But you had to hit him low.
That's why they bringing Travis Kelce back in slow. He didn't play as many snaps as he probably could have because he's banged up and they need him for the long run. And I saw that in KC last week that they kept bringing them in and out. So they
Please
don't
rest his ass tomorrow. Please. Let him just sit out the whole game.
Give him PTO. PTO.
Right.
right. You get a PTO day. Now I got a question for you cats, man.
Game management. Sit him
Go
down.
hang out. Go be a Swifty.
Right.
Right.
Go hang with Kawhi for a week.
No,
Load management. I mean, it has been load
no. How about pull up your FanDuel account
management.
while you playing us? So you
I don't want to have multiple game suspension. Just miss this game. Don't hurt nobody fantasy league now. Just
You have a lot of fantasy
hey,
players mad at you, Ben.
right.
well, it's some that's mad at him already because he ain't been out there. So, but I got a question for you guys, and this dates back to early last year, one of our podcasts. We went in about coaching retreads, right? You know, a coach get fired, and then next thing you know, not even a year later, he back in the head seat, right? We went in on that, and we was like, man, they got to start giving these DCs and OCs job opportunities and all of that. Remember that show? We was going in,
Yeah.
right? Especially KDL.
Mhm.
Now, is there something to that? Because a lot of these OCs and DCs that become head coaches, they not looking so good right here at home. You know, when they're giving these individuals jobs, and that's managing everything. That means you are managing the team, the offense, the defense, the special teams. You are supposed to manage it all, and that right there, I think, is where it's a disconnect, and you get a lot of retreads getting thrown back in because they have done it, they can do it, and these new guys that's coming up are not actually ready. What's your thoughts on that?
Uh, it's hard to say that. It's hard to say that they're not ready, right? You know, anytime you're in a new job, it takes time, and that's one thing. Like with all pro sports now, that the patience isn't there. You know,
Bingo.
we're not waiting.
Right.
We don't want to wait.
Immediate.
We're not trying to wait 3 years for you to get it. You know, or even so. I think the most. I think over retread and probably the most important thing for these. And this is a mistake Eberflus made is instead of is your coaching staff, is your actual staff that you pick, right? So Eberflus, new head coach. Alan Williams, new defensive coordinator. That wasn't what he was doing in Indianapolis. Luke Getzey, quarterback coach. He wasn't an OC. You know, so you bring it in, so everybody's kind of learning, at the same time. So I think it would probably be more important to bring in, if you're Eberflus, let me bring in a Fangio type defensive coordinator. Not saying that Fangio was available at the time, but you want it's probably
Somebody that has done it, and
that
you
has
don't
done
have to
it.
really
And so now you're
hold the
taking on
strings on them.
all these new people doing new things and all at the same time, and I think that hurts it. That hurts it as well.
True.
And I challenge that notion of them these young coordinators not faring as well, because let's look at Miami, let's look at San Francisco, let's look at Green Bay, let's look at these coaching trees and where these coaches develop from as offensive coordinators, quarterback coaches, whatever you want to call them, into head coaches. And these are, keep in mind, these are head coaches that are still calling plays. You know what I mean? So I refuse to believe that it might be synonymous with some of the bad play that we seeing or the bad coaching that we might be seeing. I feel like there is a group of young, talented individuals. We talked for many years over the past few years about Eric Bieniemy, him Super Bowl champ,
I was
multiple
finna go there,
times.
DY.
I get all of that, and the rumor mill has already started. Bring Bieniemy to Chicago to fix Justin Fields, but you guys saying you don't want to bring another offense up in here. Okay, I get it, but I can't fathom that these young coordinators may be the cause for some of the things that you might be seeing in the league. I think these young coordinators understand what it takes to win in this league, or at least to have a productive offense, and how to get that out of the players. They know how to choose their personnel. They know how to scheme, and they can call good plays. Unfortunately, we don't have that right now. Might get to that point, but we don't have it.
I hate to agree with Lefty, because that's a really bad look. 30 years. I always
Smartest thing
try
you ever
not to
did in
agree
your
with
life.
him.
Smartest thing you
But
ever did in your
you
life.
know, you did hit upon something when you have a new head coach, having him some veteran, play callers, where he doesn't have to be so hands on and so forth, and kind of can let them do their thing. Take a look at Prime, the people that he put around him and his staff.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to hold hands. He can just manage. So, Lefty,
Nobody
I'll
talks
give you
about
that.
that with Dion. Nobody talks
I
about the
give you
staff
that,
coaching staff he
Lefty.
put
You
together.
spot on. You get one a month. And that's your one for the month. So
It's funny you say that every week though. I'm trying to figure out the math here.
no,
Your
that's
math not
every four
mathing, brother.
weeks. That's
Your
every four
math,
weeks I say
your
that. Go back to the
your
tapes. You
math
got
not
receipts.
mathing, brother, because you say it every week. But go ahead.
Go back to the receipts. It's every 4 weeks. So you might get
No,
one on the
I don't
first of the
believe you.
month. You might get one on the 30th
I
of the
don't
month.
believe you. Let's take a poll. Put the poll up. Your math ain't mathing, brother. Your math ain't mathing.
All right. Another question for y'all. It's either yes or no. Is Dallas for real?
Yes.
Is Dallas for real?
Well,
Hell yeah.
they were for real until Diggs
Mhm.
is out for the
That
year.
was big.
Yeah, that's big. That's
That
big.
was big.
But are they for real, man? I have a different opinion. I'm not gonna say they for real because the offense is really not looking like they Super Bowl worthy. The offense is not. The defense is. The defense has done a lot of amazing things in these first 2 weeks that allows for easier play from the offense.
When you have a defense like that, you for real. It's when you got a defense that can pretty much all you need your offense to do is don't mess it up, don't turn the ball over. When you got a defense like that, like what Dallas putting out there on that field right now, then
You're right, Lefty.
like Dak don't have to
Hasn't
be
been Dak
great,
yet, though.
right?
Dak hasn't Dak yet.
Right, but he doesn't, but he's not in a position where he has to be Tom Brady or Aaron
Dak
Rodgers.
is gonna Dak,
That defense.
Lefty. I'm
I mean,
taking the over
I
on
get
that.
that. So look, let's go back 2018, right here in Chicago, right? And this Trubisky, what 12-4, 13-3, whatever they were, 2018. That was a Super Bowl defense. Now Parkey goofy ass messed it up, but I'm just saying, look, and now Mitch is a backup, but people was like,
I
and
think
that
Parkey
offense,
left-handed.
and that offense, watch your mouth, and that offense really wasn't that good in 2018. So I think if you just, and I think this Dallas offense is way better than that Bears offense was in 2018. So they for real. That defense is for real, man. Look at the Ravens, the 2001 Ravens. Was it 2001, 2000, whatever it was? Like when you got a defense that damn good,
2000.
yeah, we got a defense that good, man. Come on now. They for real.
Okay.
That defense is for real.
All right. I feel your concept.
Now, they ain't hit no big dogs yet. They only went up against Zach Wilson, Daniel
Okay.
Jones so far. I mean,
All
that's the only
right.
thing
So
went up against so far. Now let's wait and see before we crown them, but they look for real though.
Yeah, I agree. I think you got to wait till like week 4 to really be able to answer this question fairly.
Gandy is right with you on that. They played the Giants and the Jets. And the Giants. The Giants. KDL hiding underneath of the bleachers right now.
I'm gonna need Michigan to cover in this game though.
Yeah, you would hear him.
Best player in the league. Patrick Mahomes or Micah Parsons?
Neither one.
Yeah, that's a hard call. Two totally different positions. You can't compare them really.
If you were going to go, who's leading in MVP right now? If you had to take a choice.
Micah. Easily Micah Parsons. Easily Micah Parsons. I mean, Mahomes gonna make plays. Mahomes gonna Mahomes. We know what Patrick Mahomes gonna do, but
Are we just talking about these two players, or is there anybody else you willing to
Well,
argue?
I just threw out those two players, but you could throw in several players. So who else you got on deck for MVP?
I don't know right now.
Still kind of. I mean, you talking about week
I mean,
2?
it's early. It's early, but
Early.
we getting our Negro Dominance on right now.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes, if you just want to go off these two games, Patrick Mahomes hasn't been Patrick Mahomes, right? He hasn't been that great. They only scored 17 against Jacksonville. They won and they lost against the Lions. And Patrick Mahomes, there was a lot of drops. I get all that, but and it's just these two games. Let's take the history out of it. These two games, that's all he's basing off of is Michael Parsons, hands down.
Any disagreement there, Tribal Chief?
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, it's picking between those options is hard to argue against. It's hard to argue against that point. He sets a trend on defense. Players play harder because of him. So yeah, why not put him at the front runner of the MVP race at this point?
Keith Millhouse say Purdy.
Purdy is get the ball to my damn playmakers. That's what Shanahan got him doing. Get it to McCaffrey, get it to Debo, get it to what's the other receiver name?
Brandon
Ayuk. Get it to Kittles. Just get it to the playmakers and let them work. I don't think Purdy's the next Tom Brady and no shit, but he doing right.
Did you guys see
he on the best team in the league
that the Bengals had Joe Mixon taking snaps this week at QB? And they just signed Alabama's AJ McCarron today.
And then that's telling me Joe Cool is not healthy.
AJ McCarron,
career backup. Yeah. He can come in and throw a couple of 5 and outs, something, just get your hand the ball off. But no, I think that's just telling me Joe Burrow is something really not right with Joe Burrow yet.
Brent Musburger still is lusting after his girlfriend, if you remember.
Purdy. Facts.
Remember, it was AJ McCarron's girlfriend that kept showing pictures, and he was like, "What a love! What a beautiful young woman! What a love!" Like, Brent, relax there, buddy. Chill, Papa, chill.
You will hope he wasn't back there getting his Mel Tucker on over the phone
in the booth.
In the booth.
You said over the phone.
Mel Tucker getting his Mel Tucker on.
I'd like to interview his girlfriend via phone. Actually, via FaceTime.
Oh my God.
No, that just, to me though, with this Tennessee situation, there's something's not right with Joe. He just all of a sudden didn't forget how to play quarterback. It's either, I know it was that calf, but one thing we know is when you favor one part of the body, it usually puts too much pressure on another part of the body. So he could be having some other issues that they're not putting out there yet.
Right.
But he doesn't look the same at all. He doesn't look healthy. So and now with them, because I think Chase or somebody said they wouldn't mind seeing him sit for another week or so. Like something's not. He's not healthy. Something's not right.
Well, would you rather have him playing through the injury, making it worse, like you say? You compensate on one side of the body, something else goes wrong on the other side of the body. So they want their QB1 to sit because you don't win the chip in the first month of football. You don't. And last year, remember, they ran off 14 straight.
Yeah, and that's an anomaly. That don't happen a lot at all. Like you can't bank on that. Let's just blow the first couple of games, then we'll just make a run. Like that.
Well, no, I'm not saying that, but I mean their offense. What are they? Second or third? Yeah, Miami, and they like number 2 and number 3 when you look at what they got on paper and what they show that they can do.
Yeah, it does. I mean, like we just said though, and we talked about it earlier with Justin's footwork and all that. If Joe's not able to step or plant, or it's something he's favoring, he's not making his drops, so he's not able to really get back in his drops, or whether it's his knee or that calf still bothering him, whatever it is, he gonna look pedestrian. Like it's very important.
Yeah, and I'm sure as we just talked a whole lot about footwork, I'm sure that calf is causing trouble in his footwork and his ability to move left, right in that pocket, or
Mhm.
even step up into that pocket fast, because his O line is, duct
Yeah.
taped together.
Uh, and man, then you know how pull muscles are. You can pull it again at any time. I don't know if you ever pulled a calf muscle, but man, you be afraid to walk sometime. Like it's like
Kind of
you.
like your back.
So yeah, something. Yeah, that's a great point. I know
Okay.
you're trying to
I'm
crack
just
on me, but I mean,
No,
yeah,
I'm
you're
just
right.
I
You're
want
right,
the
bro.
fans to be able to actually feel your pain.
See, the only
If
reason
they
everybody know I got a bad back because y'all constantly remind everybody that my back is bad. Okay, I got a bad back. Yes, I
All
got a
right, man. We
bad
back from
back.
the show, man. We've been rocking and rolling, man. This time goes by so fast with us because, man, we are actually having fun. Bringing you guys the sports the way we doing in the cigar lounges. But we got a couple of games that I did want to bring up. Bills versus Commanders. Bellamy has Bellamy has them that offense. I mean, they look night and day from last year. Sam Howell is looking like a a real quarterback out there.
Mhm.
I mean, not to say that he wasn't, but I mean, man, he looking real good, and he
Yeah.
throwing the ball. Scary Terry is out there being Scary Terry. So the Bills have struggled. Who you got, Lefty? Now they got the Bills by 6.
The Commanders eventually gonna red skin like they always do. So I'm going with Buffalo. I'm going with Buffalo. They gonna red skin. That's what they do.
They gonna skin.
Hmm.
All right, Chief.
Uh, you asking me to pick this game too?
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta go with the Bills. I think Washington's not war tested yet at this point. Bills desperately need a statement game because they coming out of the gates very, very slow, looking somewhat lethargic, unorthodox, whatever term you want to use for it. But I think this is one of those games that could be that get back type of game for them. I know Washington's got a better defense. I get all of that, but same time, they got to be ready to perform. They in the heavy division. They got to be ready to perform.
Okay. All right. Let's go Falcons Lions.
Hmm.
Lefty. Is Detroit gonna continue to are they gonna Detroit or are they gonna and then the Falcons that run game? Jesus.
Bijan Robinson. Atlanta's a lot better than predicted. They're a lot better than predicted. It'll be close, but I'm gonna take Detroit in that one. But it's gonna be a tight one. It's gonna be a tight game.
I, I hate picking Atlanta, but I think they run game is serious business. And for having a young quarterback back there, if you got a run game that's on the popping, the sky is the limit. That tandem could be together for the next 2 to 3 years, not do nothing else uh but run the ball
Pound and pound.
and and pound cake over the rest of the NFL.
Pound town, baby.
Hey left. We did say could golf repeat what he did last year.
I think he can. I think I know I've
He
been
and had
hard
some
on him.
sketchy moments.
Yeah, I've been hard on him. I mean, he gonna you know Jared Goff gonna Jared Goff every now and then, but as long as he don't overdo it, you know what I mean. Like don't be you 70% of the time,
Yeah.
and you'll be all right. If he only Jared Goff 30% of the time, they can make it.
Will guy have his blood pressure medicine right next to him every week. Uh Eagles Bucks.
Ooh.
Come on, DY, you go first on this one.
Could be game of the
That
week.
they
That's
in Tampa.
That's a tough one. I mean, on papers, you obviously gonna say
Got
the
Philly by 5.
Eagles, but the way Tampa has come out of the gates with talent that they got,
I'm
who
waiting
can
for the commercials to start rolling out.
Who could beat
again.
them?
Baker in the stadium again. Let's go.
Yeah, I think you got to look at though. No one counted on Tampa's defense. They just looked at the quarterback situation. And
Yeah.
still, Todd Bowles was a hell of a defensive coordinator, hell of a defensive guy. That defense is for real. But I got to go with Philly. I think in a close one, I'll take Philly. The Philly defense for real too. But I think that's Baker comes down to earth this week. We're gonna see the commercial Baker Mayfield this week. I think we're gonna see that. He
I'm
ain't
just
gonna look
waiting
like
for.
he ain't
I'm
gonna
waiting
look
for him
like
to do a
Tom Brady
commercial
this week.
again.
The Eagles defense and that Bears, he played the Vikings and the
They
Bears
night and day.
defense were not really that good. This defense here is something.
Yeah. And they young and hungry too.
Oh my God.
That Eagles defense is young because they lost so many, but they gained
That front four
just as many back.
is a beast.
Yeah.
And Tampa can't run the ball. So if you banking on Baker Mayfield beating Philly with his arm, I got a bridge to sell you.
Joe. Now I don't. They haven't ruled Joe out yet, right? From my understanding. But you got the Rams and Bengals.
I think he's out.
Yeah, I do too.
He
But
doubtful.
I haven't seen anything that say he's out yet.
I'll copy that.
If they bought him McCarron, he's probably out.
The fact that they had Joe Mixon back there throwing passes, and when I say his footwork was trash.
Right, he's running. He ain't trying to plant his feet. He moving.
Right,
On the
right,
run.
right. He threw one. It was just like
Yeah.
I was like, they really got him back there taking snaps, huh? So the Rams, they could go in and win this one, even though they got Cincy by 3.
I like the Rams in this game.
Ooh.
I like the Rams. I don't think the Rams are a great team, but I don't think they're as bad as advertised. I know they kind of in this little, cup out, but still Matthew Stafford back there. And since his offense has looked atrocious, man, so I gotta.
But Joe ain't been himself. So
He ain't
Lefty,
gonna be himself this week.
you and your left hand can go out there and throw to Chase and Higgins and Boyd and win a game. No shot. No disrespect.
No, it was a shot. But don't worry about it. I'm gonna see you later on today. The night is young. The night is young.
You telling me I got to knuckle up as soon as I see you on site?
On site. On site.
Hey man, we got 30 years, man. If, as Kev say, if not me, then who?
You're right. Whack.
Skip hairless. Pats and Jets. New England get their first victory.
DY, you can take that one.
No.
Remember, Greeny might be watching you. Greeny might be watching you.
Hey, that's fine. Jets defense is too good. I don't think the Pats is ready for them. Unfortunately, I hate to admit it because they should be better this year. This should be Buffalo's year to essentially win everything that's thrown at them. And I don't know if they BSing, taking their own sweet time. I don't know what it is that they doing. They not doing enough. Just not doing enough.
No, England defense ain't shabby either now.
No, they not.
By any means.
By no measure. They was in the Miami game.
Yeah, they kind of held Miami,
Last week I told you Mac Jones is throwing that ball around.
Yeah, I definitely took the under in that one.
He tossing that peel.
My parlay. I took the under.
Tossing for a yard.
Come on. Mac Jones in his 2 years ain't had 300 in back-to-back games in ever.
Yeah.
Proof is in the pudding. If it walk like a duck and talk like a duck, it's a damn duck.
Yeah.
Lefty. Saints, Packers. They in Green Bay. Got the pack by 1.
Take the Saints. I think Derek Carr does just enough. Jordan Love looked pretty good actually last, first 2 weeks. But
the last 2 weeks,
yeah, he's looked pretty good. And the Packers defense isn't shabby either. But I think I like the Saints in this one. I think they can pull it off
When is the loss of Jones gonna catch up to him?
this week.
That was quick.
This week.
That was quick.
Because nobody ever talks about the Saints defense either. You know what I mean? Like nobody ever talks about their defense. Saints defense ain't bad.
We watched that game on Monday. We watched the Monday night game against Carolina, and I don't feel like that defense was, great by any measure. They couldn't stop them at the end of the game. Almost came back, but the Saints I think is an up and coming young defense. I think they gonna be better, especially with whatchamacallit coaching them. But I don't think right now they got what it takes to beat the upper echelon better teams in the league. I think eventually they will get there.
Okay. All right, I'm back to my Negro Diamonds. After week 2, Lefty, who wins? Right now, we just Negro Diamonds in now.
Okay.
Who wins the NFC? Who wins the AFC?
San Francisco NFC, hands down. Best all-around team in the league, not just the conference, in the league.
Oh boy.
The 49ers are the best team in the league, especially if they can stay healthy. AFC, I mean, outside of, I'll just put it out there, man, and that's banking on the Tua can not get concussed again. Got to go Miami. So Miami AFC, San Fran NFC.
Miami looks good. I think you could never count out KC. They're battle tested. Might be a little Super Bowl hangover this year for them. So it'll be hard to pick them coming out of the AFC. So with that being said, Baltimore.
Ooh, you reached down in the bag, huh?
I think Baltimore got enough of what it takes, personnel wise, to get them to the promised land, but they got to start getting a little bit more creative and get Lamar going. If they don't do that, then you count them out.
All right. Well, fellas, we came to the end of this ride. It's been a pleasure. DY, thank you for stepping in for Angry Man and KDL 33, or as Big Tim say, KDL 0.
Thanks.
As always, it's a pleasure. Your tribal chief is going to leave you now and allow you guys to bask in my greatness.
He in God mode, ain't he?
Yeah, I will be later on tonight for sure.
Well, thanks for the alley-oop, and let's talk about it, man.
Yes, sir.
SmokeFellas, 50 years of hip-hop, baby. Tonight at Eduardo Lamone's 3721 South Trail, Bristol Park, where we about to bring in 50 years of hip-hop, man, the way we do it. And on the ones and twos, the tribal chief, a.k.a. DJ DY Nemesis, man. Gonna be on the turntables from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. We're gonna have raffles, food, man. Make sure you guys come out. Lefty, DY, y'all want to jump in on this? Let's go.
Well, yeah, of course, man. It's we've been talking about this for a while. We want to acknowledge hip hop, even though we're in a house music town. But it's huge. It's something we've really been looking forward to. And DY done promised me he got something for us. He gonna go in the crate so heavy on us all. And it's not on the flyer, but it's gonna be trivia. So get your hip hop knowledge up. We got trivia questions. You can win prizes. So this is gonna be more than just putting on music and partying. It's gonna be a lot of the crowd gonna really be involved tonight, man. And early arrival strongly suggested Hey, it's gonna be a good time. Anytime you can celebrate hip hop, man. I'm a hip hop head. I ain't never claimed to be no house head. Hip hop is my love as far as music. So I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Lefty, what we
Definitely.
got going on tomorrow?
Yeah, SmokeFellas weekend, man. SmokeFellas weekend. Join us tomorrow. Tomorrow we repping with our Bears Nation family, man. They going a lot of them in KC. So guess who's hosting? The SmokeFellas. We are hosting tomorrow at Visions, 119th and Loomis. Get there. Y'all already know what a great time the Bears Nation puts on, man. It's gonna be just as fun, and we're gonna add a little wrinkle to it. 50-50. You may win you a couple of dollars up out of there, man. It's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a great time.
So that's what we do, man. We just have fun in cigar shops, man. We show a lot of love to sports, music, the leaf. It is what we do. You know what I'm saying? So if you have never come out and kicked it with us, man, come and kick it with us, cause it's a whole vibe. And what you say, Lefty, it's a movie. It's a movie,
Oh,
man.
it's gonna be a
We was
movie.
talking backstage, man. We've been doing this stuff for 7 to 8 years. Uh, so man, come out and kick with us, man. We have a whole good time. It's a good environment. You know, you have a lot of fun. You meet new people. It's just what we do. Shauna came and kicked it out there with us on several occasions. So he know what this life is like. It's a whole vibe, man. Whole vibe. Uh, any other shots y'all want to put out there?
Shout out to all the smoke groups, man. It's this cigar community has really grown. It's a lot of fun, and I know you hear little different things about separation and all that. I don't even know groups got no beef with each other. It's really a family environment. It's always a good time. We all get together, and
One smoke,
it's not gonna
one
be no
love.
difference this weekend and for the rest of the throughout everybody's event. So shout out. It's too many groups to name all y'all, but shout out to all the cigar groups, man. Mad love.
Hey,
Hey, I might swing by. I might swing by early because I got a birthday party that starts at 10. So I saw it was 6 o'clock. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I may be there between 6 and 7 for an hour or two, and then
all right.
have another birthday party to go to. Birthday party of hip hop, and then a birthday party after.
There it is. I mean, look, I'm always excited for our events, but I'm really like genuinely excited about tonight, man.
You
Like
fired up? You fired up?
look, I stayed in yesterday.
Oh,
I
damn.
started
Looked
last night,
over.
Sean.
I stayed in
I
the
Yeah,
started
house.
me too.
last night.
Me too.
Yep,
I had the hip
chilled
hop
out. I didn't
video
do nothing. Yeah, I
playing on
relaxed
the
all
screen
night.
last night, man. Had
Pause.
had the music rocking.
What kind of videos you got playing on the screen, though? I'm just
Hip
saying.
hop,
Oh,
hip
okay.
hop,
Oh, okay, I don't
hip
know.
hop.
Weird stuff going on there.
Yeah. I
So
was out at my guy's place last night out in Oak Lawn, and another buddy, I didn't realize he was DJing last night, and man, he just tore that shit up. Man, one of my guys he goes, I've been trying to leave for 2 hours, and this dude won't stop playing hits.
well, guess what? You might be in that same realm
Oh, I
tonight
know with this
where
joker
DY.
to my left, this joker to my left. I'm gonna say I gotta time it like when's your bathroom break? I bet.
Right.
I'm bouncing with this.
That's your exit plan. Good job.
Hey, we got to get out of here, man. And we say, man, where there's smoke,
There's the fellas.
Fellas.
that's right. Hey, DY, we coming for that belt, man, in the fantasy league. So polish it up for me.
Later,
Pause.
fellas. I'll see you guys.
All right.
All right, man. We out, man. See you next week.